What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding. In this video, we're discussing Big Ramy and his latest physique updates where he's looking absolutely insane and why it's so impressive, why he's looking this good this far out from the 2022 Mr Olympia. You guys have to let me know in the comments below, do you think Big Ramy will win the 2022 Mr Olympia at the end of this video once I give all my reasons why I think it's so impressive the way he's looking right now. Plus, he lets you guys know his commitment to the fans, plus he sends a warning message to his fellow competitors as well. All that plus much more coming up in this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it.
She was killed, and they tried
the top
to
six
cover it
girls
up.
really look great, but you seem to have that perfect aesthetic
I wasn't
look.
into hip hop or even soul music.
There are definitely people that need a little Viagra.
What's up, desktoppers? Now, before I get into this video, I encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, and check out some of my other content as well. My last video was actually an interview with Brett Wilkin, and people absolutely loved that interview as well. So it's much appreciated. You guys give me all the feedback in the comments, and make sure you do it on this video also, and give me your opinion about everything that I discussed in this video about Big Ramy. So let's get into it. So he posted up these physique updates where he looks absolutely crazy, and the caption was interesting as well. So I'll read that out to you guys now. He says, new update from April 17th. I know I haven't been very active on social media lately, and I apologize to you all for that. From now on, you'll see more of me, I promise you guys. This update is from yesterday, and I want to post them to let you know I'm training and putting in the work. It's not easy during Ramadan, but I know my job is to get it done regardless of not eating and drinking as much as usual. My goal for this year's Olympia is to present the best Big Ramy ever, and that is why I'm working very hard. I'm looking forward to coming to the USA to guest pose at the Pittsburgh Pro May 7th, 2022. Thank you all for your continued support. I really appreciate it so much. Now let's go for number 3. So now let's analyze these photos and go over the side chest and the back lat spread, which he posted up. So when you first see the side chest, you go crazy full, looks absolutely enormous. The fact that this is during Ramadan, which Ramadan is where you can't actually eat or drink during daylight hours. So you probably only got 8 hours or something a day during the night where you can actually eat and drink. So if he's actually awake during the day, obviously he's dehydrating, and a dehydrated muscle is not a muscle that's likely going to grow. So the fact that he's looking so big right now, 18 days or 16 days, somewhere around there into Ramadan, because this is from yesterday. So yeah, probably 16, 17 days into Ramadan where he hasn't been able to eat and drink during daylight hours is just so impressive. So let's look at the overall physique. So chest, shoulders, arms, everything looking absolutely crazy. It's all there. Looks absolutely insane. Conditioning is pretty good overall for this point of his off season. When you have a look at the legs, they still look absolutely crazy. Now, he did get a bit of flack last year for having, slight lumps and stuff like that in his outer sweep. It wasn't so crazy, but I think it was as bad as other body parts on some other bodybuilders. But obviously being Mr Olympia, he's going to be critiqued on every little thing that might not be perfect on his physique. And as you can see here, you can see that sort of lump on that outer sweep there in this photo, but that could be recent as well. Obviously, we know bodybuilders do shots, and the outer quad is definitely a popular spot, but I'd hope he'd be avoiding that area at this point. Now, moving on to the back lat spread. Now, his back looks very good. Like, I am actually really impressed. When he hits the back double bicep, though, that's when we see his back exposed a little bit more, and the lower lats seem like they're not as big. But here, his back looks absolutely insane. So it looks like maybe those lower lats have filled out a little bit more. We obviously know his upper lats and his traps. Look how far they go down his back and how thick they are. And the fact how his shoulders sort of sit out from his traps there as well looks very insane. And I mean, the fact that he looks like this during Ramadan is just scaring me for what he's actually going to look like on stage this year, because we know last year he only trained for 3 months out of the 10 months between Mr Olympias, because obviously it was a shorter time period. This year he's got 14 months in between Mr Olympias, which I did hear he's going to train for the whole off season and then train obviously pre-contest and have 14 months of that. Which I was like, wow, okay, if he only did 3 months last year and he's doing 14 months this year of training, then we're going to see something pretty special from Big Ramy. It's just whether his mind can actually be in it. Because I did hear Dennis James actually talked about it, saying that he was, almost ready to quit before last year's Mr. Olympia and sort of before the prep, and he wasn't training in the off season. He had some personal issues going on, which we don't know what they were. But the fact that he's sort of gone from that to training 3 months for last year's Olympia to potentially training all year. Now, it's still a long time to Mr. Olympia. It's in December. But if he's training all year for this, and if he's super dedicated like he says he is, and we're actually going to see more content from him leading into the Olympia as well, which I think is great. It's great for his fans. It's great for bodybuilding. He is the Mr. Olympia. He is, the ambassador, whether he wants to be or not. So I think it's all good news. And the fact that he's doing Ramadan, like I said, it's absolutely crazy. And he's only got, 12 or so more days of that until he's done. So just under 2 weeks. And I'm assuming after that 2 weeks, he's probably going to blow up again and get another response. So I'm very excited to see those sort of updates as well. And not long till he actually guest pose at that Pittsburgh Pro as well, which hopefully we see all the other big names too. We see the Brandon Currys and the Big Ramys and potentially the Hardy Chupins, probably not Hardy Chupin, but you've got obviously Nick Walker and all those sorts of guys that will probably be stepping on that Pittsburgh Pro guest posing stage as well. So I'm very excited for that. Now, with all this training, with all we know, he's with the Dream Team, Dennis James and Chad Nichols, and they're working together, obviously, with Big Ramy. Chad Nichols doing the diet and prep side of things, and then obviously Big Ramy flies out to the US and then trains with Dennis James leading into that Mr. Olympia, and it worked, obviously, the last 2 years. Last year, they didn't even have much time to work together, and they still brought a pretty insane package that won Mr. Olympia. Still was the best bodybuilder in the world with training 3 out of the last 10 months leading into that show, which is absolutely insane. Now, can this be one of the most impressive physiques of all time, Big Ramy in 2022 at Mr. Olympia? I think it can be up there. Now, obviously, one of the most insane physiques of all time was Ronnie Coleman 2003, and people debate what Ronnie Coleman's best was, but 2003 is probably what would win on stage over the other packages, in my opinion, just because of the sheer size and freakiness, even though it wasn't as aesthetic as the 98, 99, and one of those Arnold Classics, I think in 2001 as well, where they're sort of noted as some of Ronnie Coleman's best as well. But 2003 Ronnie Coleman versus potentially what Big Ramy is going to bring to the stage this year, Ramy could potentially be overall bigger. Now, Ronnie Coleman had the hanging muscle, like when you look at his lats, like that muscle just hung off, and it was a different look to what Big Ramy actually has. But Big Ramy has a ton of size, and I think when Ronnie Coleman poses, like more sort of happened with his physique than when Big Ramy poses, but Big Ramy is just such a impressive stature. Like, he has a very wide shoulder structure. He has a ton of muscle on his physique. His quads, in my opinion, are bigger than Ronnie's, and he's got some other body parts that are bigger as well. But will it be as impressive? I'm not sure, because Ronnie Coleman obviously brought some crazy conditioning as well, which we haven't really seen from Big Ramy sort of ever, like that same conditioning and sheer separation that Ronnie Coleman had. But if we can see that from Big Ramy with the amount of size that he has, or even something close to it, we're going to see one of the most impressive physiques of all time. And what he looked like last year for training 3 months leading into that Olympia, he's training the whole year for this one. Then it's the first time really training the whole year like this, it seems, with Chad Nichols and Dennis James. It could be one of the most impressive physiques of all time. And I'm very much looking forward to this year's Mr. Olympia, because it's not just going to be Big Ramy. It's going to be, obviously Nick Walker. It's going to be Brandon Curry. It's going to be Hardy Chupin. It's going to be Hunter Labrada. And we've got a bunch of other guys like potentially Flex Lewis getting that Mr. Olympia as well. So I'm super excited. That's like 6 guys that can win this Mr. Olympia. It's going to be an awesome show. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you think Big Ramy will look in 2022? Will it be his best of all time? And can it be one of the best physiques of all time that we ever see on a bodybuilding stage? Let me know all that in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It's much appreciated. If you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any videos that go up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. Also head to hdmuscle.com, enter the code DESKTOP. You'll save yourself 10% on some amazing supplements. Check them out. Don't even take my word for it. Just check out their whole line. Honestly, they are next level. The pump product, the pre-workout pump product that's non-stim, absolutely love that. I've actually been having some more stims lately, so I've been having a bit of both, but the non-stim one is absolutely next level. The pumps are huge, so make sure you check that out and use the code DESKTOP. The link is also in the description below as well. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.